In a place as old as time, but starved of water, we are being forced to make decisions about how to manage our most precious resource for the future. These are the hills of Galilee, and the rain that falls here flows down to Lake Tiberias, also known as the Sea of Galilee, which is the primary source of surface water for Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. The abundance of wildflowers blanketing these hills bloom in stark contrast to the desert that covers most of the Middle East. Expedition Blue Planet is traveling through Israel, Jordan, and the West Bank to talk to experts and everyday people about how they deal with an issue they all share: lack of fresh water.
This is the most significant source of surface fresh water that we have. For this region, when we're talking about Israel, Palestine, and Jordan, this is it. Israel pumps water out of this lake into what is called the National Water Carrier, bringing water from this part of the country, the northern area where we have most of the rainfall, to the very dry south. We really are facing a crisis with respect to a diminishing amount of surface water because we don't have more water. We simply do not have more water.
Amnon, a fisherman on the Sea of Galilee, has seen fish stocks disappear and water levels drop drastically in the past 30 years due to rising extraction for people and agriculture.
30 שנה היה מים 3-4 מטר, big in the rocks, 4 meter water. 4. היום כבר ירד כל הים.
In Palestine, we discover that water scarcity is a critical issue and that access is severely limited. Cut off from the Sea of Galilee and the Jordan River, the Palestinians' only freshwater sources are groundwater and what they buy from Israel. Israelis use 3 to 4 times as much water as Palestinians, while Americans use 8 times as much.
Well, in our communities, it depends where you are. Like geographically, if you're in the center of the country, then you're not really facing a water scarcity. You open your tap and there's running water. But this water is allocated to you by Israel, and Israel really controls how much water you get. When you go further north or further south in Palestine, then you find people that are in grave need of basic water rights.
Munther, a water engineer, talked to us in Wadi Fukin, a Palestinian village surrounded by Israeli settlements.
Water to us Palestinians, it's pumped by Israel, by the government of Israel. And the government of Israel is giving us less than 1/5 of what he's giving to his population. The World Health Organization talks about a minimum of 100 liters per capita per day. What we are getting? Less than 70, 65. Some villages, they are having less than 30 liters per capita per day.
Across the border in Jordan, people share the same watershed and the same scarcity. Othman, whose father founded Azraq village beside an oasis 80 years ago, has witnessed firsthand what happens when an aquifer is overstressed by agriculture and urban populations. He has watched his birthright, the rare Azraq oasis, sucked dry in only 11 years.
This place was in this, what we see in this picture. This is the situation of this place in 70s and 60s and 50s and the last century. It's disaster. As I feel that I lost everything and no life in Azraq after that, what happened.
These shrinking water resources are also having a drastic impact on Jordan's major urban populations. In the capital, Amman, 2.5 million inhabitants receive water only once a week.
At this day, I make all the major cleaning of the house, and also washing the dishes. All the people here in Jordan, or most of them, take the shower or the bath at this day. If we have water daily, for me, I will not change my way of using the water.
We saw in Jordan that people have access to water once a week. They fill their tank, and that's all the water they have for the rest of the week, unless they want to buy water. Do you think that that's the future that we'll all share one day as water becomes more and more scarce?
What we need to do is to find a way where we can equitably share the water resources. We're all taking water out of this one very small watershed. And when it's gone, and it's gone for everybody.
The people of the Middle East already live with the realities of water scarcity, but their stories are only indicative of a growing crisis around the world. Already, 1 billion people lack access to safe drinking water, and the United Nations estimates that by 2025, over 3 billion people could live in water-stressed areas. Along our journey, we've heard people tell us stories about how they've watched their sacred seas disappear and life-sustaining rivers run dry. And I can't help but wonder if these aren't the voices of the future if we fail to protect our blue planet.